Back, everybody. WAJR's Ask the Experts, being sponsored by HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness, continues. We're in studio with Josh Arbaugh, who's a physical therapist and a certified Titleist Performance Institute member, and we're talking about golf fitness and exercise. In our first segment, we talked about physiologically what's going on with your body when you do swing a golf club, when you do play golf. Now, knowing how much torque and everything else that's going on with your body when you do play, what are some of the things that you can do every time you go out, either before you play and during your play, and then after you play, so that, well, let's face it, you don't have to go and get physical therapy? Because you probably know that when it comes to HealthWorks, when your body hurts, you go to HealthWorks. So how can you make your body not hurt? So can you give us, Josh, a few absolutes that you do before you go out and play and that you recommend to folks that are getting ready to play golf?
Sure. So my number one thing would always be doing some kind of active warm up. So, and I'm guilty of it too. Honestly, you get off work and you've got time to play 9 holes, so you get the course as quick as you can and you jump right on the first tee. Probably not the most advisable thing to do. Some kind of active warm up is always going to decrease your chance of injury. So whether it's getting there 10 or 15 minutes early to where you have time to do a quick stretching routine, or half an hour early, get to the range and hit a few balls before you go to the first tee. Those are always some easy, simple solutions to getting your body warmed up so that you don't just step out of the car and take a big swing at the first hole and you hurt something.
You say active stretch. So let's pull that one apart a little bit. To you, what is an active stretch? What literally can someone do? I'm walking out to the course. I've got my bag. I'm getting ready to go. Let's just say I do go to the range and I'm going to hit some balls before we go out and play. What are the exercises that you're doing?
Sure. So again, making sure that you don't have any previous injuries that would exclude you from doing some of this stuff, but even just some active toe touches or just some twists of your upper body with your feet fixed on the ground to loosen that spine up. Even to do something like a few lunges with your golf club supporting you on the ground, just some bigger muscle group things to warm up that, again, if you've only got a few minutes, some active movement things, even just walking back and forth at the range with a little bit of pace to get the blood pumping throughout your body to kind of get that whole body warmed up.
Mm-hmm.
Just some easy things that you can do, just active movement wise. You have your typical static stretching things, your hamstring stretches and things like that. But even just some active movement to prepare yourself to do the golf swing is beneficial too.
So you get your body warmed, and what do you think? If you could do it for 5 minutes, you're probably going to be in a pretty good position.
Sure, yeah, especially if you add that warm up on the driving range too. So say you do 5 to 10 minutes of stretching, and then you're able to hit maybe 15 or 20 golf balls before you go to that first tee. Just that very short warm up can be enough to get you in a good position.
Anything that you would suggest while the round is happening?
I think the biggest thing is just to listen to your body. So if you're walking, pushing a cart, carrying a bag, if there are anything that you're feeling throughout the round, do some preventative stretching as the round goes on. Probably the biggest piece, and you can get into the side talk of nutrition and hydration and stuff. Probably just the biggest thing is be smart and stay hydrated, especially as the summer comes along and it gets warmer. Especially if you are walking, just staying hydrated. Your body will really appreciate that, and can be a source of injury prevention too.
All right, so here comes a liquid topic for you. So
Sure.
there might be a person out there that may have a beer while they're playing golf. Alcohol can be it can dehydrate you,
Sure.
right? So what's your thought there? What do you need to be careful of?
Again,
Have one water, one beer, one water, one beer.
probably. I mean, you could probably consult the nutrition specialist on what the proper advice would be. I mean, yeah, 1 to 1 would probably be a wise choice. Obviously, in the field that I'm in, sticking as much
Same to water.
hydration as you can have, water, sports drink, something to you get into the sports drinks and things that have high sugar content aren't the greatest either.
Right.
So obviously Gatorade and Powerade and all these different sports drink companies have found a lighter version or a sugar-free version. So all those things are definitely a good idea. But, we're all going to be honest with ourselves, and golf is a recreational sport for a lot of people. So if you do, indulge with your bodies, just making sure that you're hydrating after the round,
Sure.
especially during the summertime, there can be other concerns other than just, physical therapy related things, muscle sprains and strains that you can get into. So just staying as hydrated as you can is a good idea.
After you're done playing, any particular stretches you would advise?
Just similar things that you would do prior to the round. Again, a lot of the clientele that I end up working with, there is something that they're being ailed by. So we get a little more specific about, okay, if your back hurts after you play, then hamstring stretch and piriformis stretch are must do's. Again, the tough part for a lot of people is they finish and they jump in the car and maybe
Sure.
they've got 20 or 30 minutes to get home, and then they get out and they can't move because their back's so stiff and tight. So again, that cool down period after you've played, again, you think, okay, I've already spent 4 hours on the golf course or more. I don't have time to do anything else. But that 5 or 10 minutes of similar stretching on the back end is preventative as well.
At the HealthWorks location, Maple Drive, the main location, you have the ability to analyze swings. Can you kind of walk us through what availabilities folks have when they do come in?
Sure. So we have down in our gym, we've got a couple nice little areas set up with mats and a net that you can complete full swings. So what we do is we have video software that we record your swing, go through the physical assessment part. So there's 12 different swing characteristics that we look at on the video assessment. There's 16 different physical tests that we would put you through strength and flexibility wise. And then we sit down and go over both of those things and really talk about what your body is limited to and why certain things that may be happening on the golf course can be attributed to certain limitations physically, and then how do we correct those through exercise. So it's really nice that, if somebody says, I always hit my driver to the right and I can't do anything to fix it. I've tried taking lessons and different things. Maybe it's something limitation with your body that you're not appreciating, and we try to help you determine what we can do exercise-wise to address that and maybe correct that swing issue.
Yeah, absolutely. So not only physically, but improve your golf score
Sure.
as well. Is there a common something that people, when you put them onto that machine and you look at the software and you analyze the swing, is there a commonality of here's most people's issue?
Um,
I know
so
everyone's different, but
sure. So I would say probably the number one thing that I end up talking to a lot of people about is something we call early extension. So basically, if you think about it, you would address basically your backside is in a certain position, and usually at impact, it shows that your hips are drifting towards the ball, which usually leads to a lot of people hitting the ball left or right, or hitting a big slice is the common term. So usually that is due to weakness in your glute area. So a lot of people I see also have back pain. So commonality there is glute weakness. So I would say if I had to pick one of the 12 different things that I talk with a lot of folks about, that's probably the number one thing, of just shifting their hips towards the ball at impact.
yeah, very interesting. All right. All of that is available at HealthWorks Maple Drive location. And let me throw a phone number at you. If you were hearing something here today and you want to follow up on it, by all means you can. 599-2515, 599-2515. Our conversation with physical therapist Josh Arbaugh of HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness will continue right after this.